Oh, I was looking at my workouts for the. Oh yeah, see how it's moving at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's good.
Okay.
We weren't moving last time. So.
Gotcha.
Okay, let me find the right screen, and we will do this. That's the wrong screen. That is the right screen. Okay, let's do this.
Make sure it's recording.
Yes, please.
To the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the War Room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back. Once again, it is Sunday afternoon, and we are tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. Not much of a desert. It is pouring down rain. 100% chance of rain for today and tomorrow.
Yep.
And you know, it's as much of a drought as we have been in. Well, across my yard, it's squishy.
Yes.
The ground's like, I don't know what to do with this shit.
Yeah, I was up north Friday night, and it was raining, pouring up there. Same thing. The ground was just squishy.
Yeah, we didn't know what to do, man.
Nope.
But joining me today is Bathroom Paul.
Good afternoon.
That's forever your nickname on this podcast.
It'll be my nickname forever, I think, everywhere I go.
And you don't mind that?
Not at all.
Yeah, Bathroom Paul. It's cold enough in here. I even turned the heater on today.
I saw that when I came in.
It's a little chilly in here today.
Oh, yeah.
A little chilly. So what's Bathroom Paul been up to?
Working mainly, buying some new firearms, getting ready for a gun show on the 6th.
I was going to ask why you were working, but it's obviously so you can buy new firearms.
So I can buy new firearms.
I get that. I get that.
Hopefully next month I'll add another one to the collection.
Nice. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the Canic Meta.
So
I know you're going to make fun of me. I already know it, but go ahead.
So which gun did you just buy?
I just bought the Canic TP9 SA.
And that's your second Canic.
My second Canic.
And why did you settle on that one?
Well, honestly, I was going to buy the Meta, but I had a bad experience at the gun shop that I went to get it.
Tell us about that bad experience, and tell us the gun store that you were in when that happened. We like to dish the dirt on this show.
I went to Quick Response Firearms here in Twin Falls, and I was talking to the guy, was asking a bunch of questions because that's what I do when I go in. And
you're supposed to.
Yep. I already knew what I wanted. I already had the information I wanted to see.
Double checking.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Got to the point where I had my hand on my wallet, was getting ready to pull it out. And he looked me in the eye and said, so are you going to buy it or not?
Wow.
Yeah. And I just went, nope, not now. Set it back down on the counter and walked out.
Did he say anything when you said that?
Nope. I didn't give him a chance. I just turned around and walked out.
So how long had you been you weren't there for like 2 hours.
No.
All right.
It might've been 10 minutes or so.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't real long.
Was there like a line? I'd imagine there's like a line of people. The place is packed. He's looking to get to someone else to help. Am I right?
There was a couple other people in there. Because they'd put out some ammo. It was a Friday afternoon or Friday morning or whatever. So there were some people in there. And
were they waiting though?
No. They were browsing, and everybody was being helped that needed help.
So this guy was just an arrogant jerk.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you get the feeling that was kind of his, like what he does?
I don't know.
We could talk about
I've never been in there before, so it was the first time I'd been in there. And at first he was real. I think he just got irritated because I was asking questions, and
that's his job. Is to answer
I know, but you know how some of these sales guys are. Right. They just want to make that sale and hurry up and get out of here, and that's the impression I got.
That's an interesting way to run a new business.
Yes.
But anyhow, so you left there, and so they lost a sale. And you picked up this Canic, this whatever. I can't keep track of the lingo.
They've got
names.
Yeah, they're all like TP9, TP40, depending on what it is. And then there's like the SXF, SFX. They're backwards and the elites and stuff like that. And this is the SA.
Sounds like a TV channel.
It really does. So I went over to D&B and picked it up from them.
Great. Good. You went over to visit our friends over there.
Yeah.
That's good. And so now you're looking at buying the Meta?
The Meta.
What did we decide is different about that? Do you know, you've done a little, we talked about on the podcast, at least I have, you've done more of a deep dive, I would imagine.
Yeah. So there's not a big change. It's about the same size as the SA, the one that I bought. Makes it a little more carryable. But it already has the cutout for a plate for your optic.
Okay.
It leaves in your sights, so you don't have to pull out your dovetail sight.
Okay.
It stays affixed to the gun so that you can co-witness. It comes with the suppressor height sights on it.
So it's just an optic ready version. Well, they have optic ready versions already.
Yeah, the other one that I have is an optic ready,
but it's just got the sights and all that. It's just little extra things.
Yep, they changed just a few things.
It's got the nice trigger.
It's got a great trigger in it.
It's got the flat trigger.
Yep, it's got the flat trigger in it.
Okay, so I guess they're not, and I'm not dissing on Canucks. They're good guns, but it's funny because we talked about it before. But they do everything that every other firearms company does.
Yep.
So it's almost the same gun. So Canuck came out with your basic, then it came out with like this, and it's got the really elite.
It's got the combat,
whatever.
Elite, yep.
And it's got the good stuff, but it's a full size gun.
Yep.
And so now they got, we'll give you one more option. We're going to give you a carry size gun.
Yep.
That's got all the optic stuff on it,
and
it's got the good trigger.
Yep.
And they can get more money out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, because you've got all.
I've got 2 of them now.
So now you need 2 more to round out their whole platform.
That's right. I can get the one with the threaded barrel, and
here you go. So you mentioned, I'm going to throw out here real quick, though. I always forget. And I can try and do this, but for those of you who are watching YouTube live, it is up and running right now. Somehow, I don't know how, but it is. If you want to comment, you can comment in there. I'll probably just try to answer it via just, talking in the mic. I don't know that I'm going to sit there and type a whole bunch because I can't do 48 things at once.
And I'm useless when it comes to that stuff.
I'm trying to sit here and look pretty for Catherine Paul and everyone. But you mentioned that you are going to be at a gun show. You help out at a gun show?
I do.
Tell everyone about it. Where is it at? We do have some local people that listen.
So it's the Ray and Don gun show. It's out at the Filer Fairgrounds. Typically, he does it twice a year, usually April, November. It'll be on the 6th. And I go out there and I help him do a little bit of security and check guns in that come in, for customers that are trying to sell it there, and just kind of handle money, things like that.
It's on the 6th, so it's on a Saturday and a Sunday?
It's on a Saturday and a Sunday.
What does it cost to get into this one? I think I saw $5.
I believe it's $5.
Did that price come down? I thought it was usually up around 7.
No, I think he's always had it at 5.
No, so make me feel good, Paul.
Yeah, okay, he did come down.
Okay, sweet. No. I'm there.
I don't know. I don't ever have to pay, so I don't know exactly how much it costs.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in and say I'm with Bathroom Paul.
Yeah, just tell Mom there at the counter. She'll let you in.
Okay, sweet. I'll tell him. So you can look at guns there.
Oh, absolutely.
You can look for a meta there.
Absolutely. That was where I picked up my first Canuck, was in April over there.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I got it the first time.
How are the prices at those gun shows? They're just gun show prices.
They're good. Yeah. It's just like any place else. When the ammo was high, they were gouging everybody on ammo.
Right.
When the guns were hard to find, the same thing. They jacked up their prices on guns.
Well, everyone does.
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to see what the ammo prices are.
That's what I'm waiting to see.
I mean, because they aren't back down to normal everywhere yet, and they're never going to. I think they're back down to their new normal.
I think so.
But it's still not as high as what it got. It wasn't Biden high.
No.
No,
where did I see it? I saw 9mm was like $18 a box somewhere the other day.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see, but I like to go there. I might cruise over there to look and see what I'm doing. I don't know if I'll make it over Saturday or Sunday, but it's nice to just kind of see what's there. You get some odds and ends there, some weird things. So I picked up, and this is safety checked, right? Okay, guys. I got my hands on a little Keltec flip this around here. A little Keltec P3AT. And I was always looking for a running gun.
Yeah, you've been talking about it for months.
And this is an older gun, right? It's an older model. It's been out for quite a while, like long time.
Yeah.
And back when I lived in Kansas, I think it just came out and it was like all the rage, like pocket carry. Pocket carry scares me, but that's what guys were using it for, dropping in their pocket of their cargo pants when those are still a thing, right? And I got my hands on one. That's not horrible to shoot.
I just pulled the trigger and it was really nice.
The trigger is long, but it's smooth. It's not heavy.
Yep.
There's literally nothing to hold on to, but man, it may fit depending on where I'm running, right? If I go running up in the mountains, to my longer trail type runs, I don't mind taking my revolver. I don't mind taking that 357. It's not a problem. But for just around here, having something nice. Hey, Caucasian Sasquatch. Actually, I was speaking to this guy the other day. We got some unfinished business we got to talk about later on, me and him. But anyhow, this Kel-Tec P3AT is so light, just it's not bad to carry.
And I've been seeing 380 ammo too.
Yeah, and I've got some, and it's not like I need to shoot at a bunch. The sights on it are literally non-existent. They actually they suck.
Yeah,
there's nothing to see, so it's kind of what they call an eyeball gun.
Yeah, you
belly
just
gun,
point and shoot,
right? Early in the morning on that canyon rim trail, you never know what's out there, man.
You might need it for a porcupine.
No, that's my spirit animal. Not the porcupine, but coyotes.
Yeah,
I've been running out there in the dark before. And whenever I run out there, it's in the dark. And you get just past where Evel Knievel jumped.
Okay.
And like where it drops down to go into like Shoshone Falls.
Okay.
But there's a couple right past the jump site. There's a little loop-de-loop there and some hills. And lots of sagebrush down there. And I got my headlamp on, and it's like 4:30 in the morning. And I hear howling. I hear movement, and all of a sudden you look around, you see eyes.
Oh yeah.
And then you just know you're surrounded. I mean, they're not surrounding me, but there's you interrupted them, right?
Oh yeah.
They're on either side of the trail, and it's just it's a little unnerving.
Oh yeah. I've run into them down there at Pillar Falls on the other end.
Oh yeah. It's a little that, and I'm usually listening to some crazy paranormal type
Art Bell
Sasquatch podcast or some crap, and I'm out there hearing noise, and I'm like, the only thing I can light up is where my headlamp turns, and I'm like, oh my god, run faster, Todd, run faster. It's my version of pre-workout.
There you go, a little adrenaline boost for you.
Exactly. Get up that hill. But no, I'm kind of excited to try this out as a carry gun for when I'm running. Yeah. But what I brought it up for is because I only have one mag for it. It only came with one magazine where I purchased it. So maybe I can find another mag for it.
I'd bet you could at the gun show. They sell all kinds of mags there.
I do. I'm gonna have to take the empty mag with me just so I can compare and make sure I get the right one. But I don't know. I'm really excited to start carrying this.
Are you still using the chest rig that you used to run with the chest rig?
Nah, sometimes. It's a really good way to carry a gun. I think if you're hiking and stuff, it's a really good way. Riding 4-wheelers is wonderful. Mm-hmm. Running though, I breathe too much, and it kind of that too. No, it kind of feels like it constricts my breathing. Does that make sense?
It does,
because I don't want to move.
You got to make it tight enough so it doesn't flop all over the place. And then when I'm running, I'm like, I'm going to die. So I got to figure out a way to carry this exactly. I don't know. I'm toying with a few ideas. I'll get creative here real quick. Creative. What else? So this is a new addition to the podcast, but I think we're going to have a little quiz. And if you get an answer wrong, you're going to meet my little friend. I think it's time for me to go.
I think. Come on, I'm going to just reach right underneath.
Get me in the knee.
Watch me fry out and burn out my Roadcaster.
Oh.
This look, what does it say there? 2 million. 2 million volts. I haven't let anyone found anyone that'll let me tase them.
There's a dog out in the yard. I saw it.
Not the dog. Chickens.
Fried chicken.
You go grab a chicken and hold on to it.
No.
And then I'm gonna. Oh, it's broken now. Oh no,
there it goes.
It doesn't like that's a feedback. Did you hear that feedback? Something's going on there, but. I love my taser. I don't know. I'm probably never going to use it, but my gosh, is it?
It's fun to have.
It's fun to have.
It's a nice little toy.
I tried to sneak up on my 16-year-old son the other day. I should wait till my wife's asleep.
Yeah, if you want to die. I know she knows how to shoot.
My boys have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning. Maybe I'll. I bet you if I walked in the room,
all you'd have to do is click it.
And went like that. I bet you they get.
Oh yeah,
they get out of bed in a heartbeat.
Yes, they would. I would jump out of bed in a heartbeat.
Sweet. She just got 3 kitties.
Your wife?
Yeah. Brand new kitty cats.
Perfect.
What do you think?
I would definitely do it to the cat.
Go grab one and hold on to it.
And the wet cat.
Yeah, it's wet. Go ahead and stick your tongue on it.
Yeah, too. like a 9-volt battery.
But anyhow, that's what I've been having fun with. I know the women in my women's shooting academy, they thought it was freaking great.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they wanted to taste me.
Oh, yeah.
But so
make that class a little more interesting.
Exactly. So they've only got a month left. We've only got November, and then that class is done.
That one's done.
And today I sat down and started finalizing next year's class.
Okay.
And what I'm going to try to do is I mentioned it before, but we'll talk about it again. So this year, great class. I had, fun with class. All the women had a great time. But I'm learning and I'm progressing as I go. And I find that in the class I have two different groups running. They're all doing the same thing, just on different days. And you have some women that really they're in there for two different reasons. You have some that really want to progress, right? They're serious about progressing on with their training and moving on. And then you have some that they wanted to learn how to be safe and how to shoot their gun, and they've achieved that, but they aren't too worried about drawing the handgun, right? They aren't too worried about the defensive side of it. I mean, maybe like if they're in their house, but they just wanted to know how to shoot their gun.
Yeah.
So I started with this big group of women, and they started to diverge. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
And so in one class, when I have some that want to move on, I can't have them move on and leave half the class, behind. And so when you teach a class, you train a class, you always have to teach to the lowest common, the lowest, experience skill level in the class, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to do that to keep everybody safe.
Yep.
And so this year I'm going to create the two classes. So last year I just created one, and it was such a hit. I scrambled and I came up with dates for a second one just because as my overflow, right?
Okay.
And so this year I'm going to create two separate classes. I'm going to create one that is more focused on the women that want to progress and learn how to do some of that like reactive type shooting that I taught you. And then some of them just want a place to shoot that, we'll still do like open hand combat, safety, first aid, that kind of stuff, but just kind of want to remain, level and just kind of retain their skills.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's where I put even the beginners in there as well. Right. And then the other class, I want them to be able to already have experience, know what those core fundamentals or core principles are, and then build on them. Spend like a month or two and just focus on trigger press. And you know what I'm talking about because you've been through that class, my behind closed doors class. Focus on trigger press, and then a couple of months of focus on grip. A couple of months focus on stance, not necessarily in that order, but focus on everything, and then have half because it's a 10-month class, and then have half those months, like 4 or 5 months, where they put it all together and they start doing those drills where you're bang, 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 that kind of stuff. And so that's my goal.
Maybe I'll put on a wig and join the ladies class. It sounds like a fun class.
You have to shave your beard.
Oh man, I can't.
It's not fair time. I don't know, but I mean that's my goal anyway, because there's definitely is a portion of them that want to really move on.
Yeah,
and there's a portion they're fine and they're just happy where they are because everyone was in it for. I had one lady actually say, "Hey, I just showed up." She's like, I think she's not even coming anymore, but she goes, "Hey, I really enjoyed the class and I just wanted to learn how to shoot my gun, and I think it's time for me and the class to kind of go separate ways." And I've learned how to shoot my gun, and I've learned safety, and I've enjoyed everything up, and I just think I'm good, and I'm gonna just do some other things on Thursday nights.
Yeah,
and and so she achieved what she wanted to achieve.
Yep. And
I think that's okay. That's not a bad thing. And hopefully, the ammo, seemed to be a problem at first, but they all found ammo to shoot. And I'm allotting it to like 50 rounds a night, right? At least in the more advanced type class, I'm going to go 50 rounds. Have 50 rounds that you can shoot every night. I don't think that's asking a lot. They literally are shooting twice a month.
Yeah,
that's 100 rounds a month.
Yeah, and it's coming back more online. I haven't seen a ton of 9mm in the stores, but 380s back in the stores. I've seen it pretty regular.
Yeah,
and online it's available. That's where I've been getting mine from.
You go on, you wait for till they have sales online.
Yep.
And you buy 250 rounds, and all of a sudden you do that twice. All of a sudden you're set for the year.
Yeah,
at least for my class, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's really not that big of an ask.
No, and the prices have come down online too, so they're pretty reasonable.
I'd never be as reasonable as it once was.
No, it won't. We were talking about that earlier, but
pining
at least
for the good old days,
right? 17 cents a round.
Oh my gosh, it's great. Great. But so that's kind of what I've been up to. I had some classes scheduled for today, but that didn't happen.
Oh, the monsoon we're having out there.
This came from Hawaii.
I know. That's
We got Hawaii weather here.
yeah.
I bet you it was warmer in Hawaii.
Oh, I bet it was. I'll take a Hawaiian rainstorm over this any day.
Yeah. So I got more and more people calling for private classes. And we're just trying to juggle with the time changes coming up, and we're trying to juggle with the weather. And that's another thing. The time change is coming up. So the last month of my women's class, they're going to spend one evening on the simulator, the shooting simulator, which is always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dig that thing out again. And that we have a night shoot.
Oh, really?
Which is cool. So they come out at the same time at 6 o'clock, like they usually do. And I have them bring headlamps because we are somewhat safe, right?
Yeah.
I don't want it totally pitch black that they can't see anything. So they are shooting with their headlamps on. I'm not teaching them how to use weapon lights or anything like that, but so they can actually see the target. But it is great for them to be able to see the muzzle flash of the different kinds of firearms that they're shooting. And that they're usually just makes for great pictures.
That makes for fun.
And they're usually pretty pretty amazed by what happens. I know one gal, and I'll have to talk to her again. Last year, she took my class this year, and last year she brought her dad's 357 Chiapa Rhino.
Oh, really?
That thing blows a fireball like you wouldn't believe. That thing's amazing.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and then another lady got some of those red-coated 9mm rounds, or like little tracer
rounds.
Those are cool. I mean, I took a video of it, and it's like slowed it down. It looks like a laser beam from her gun to the target.
Really?
Just a straight red line. It's pretty cool. I'll have to do those pictures up and show you.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Yeah, they're really cool. But so I'm kind of looking forward to that, and give everyone some time off for the holidays.
Yeah,
and back at it in February, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, my other classes are still carrying on, but the women's academy is going to be shut down for a couple. I'm not going to know what to do with my Thursday nights.
Yeah, if you've been doing it for 10 months now.
For 10 months. And I tell you, that 10 months went by fast.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Super fast.
Especially you talk about how much fun they have in there and how good of a class it is.
I've never had classes give me so much crap. I mean, they are just absolutely, and they're full of great ideas though, and they have such a good time, and they're so helpful to each other. That's an amazing. I love having women in classes. They listen, they pay.
Nothing like us men.
Yeah. Well, you guys are great too, but I mean, it's just it's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
I keep looking to see everyone's.
That's what I was looking up there too.
Comments up there, but yeah. So I mean, it was fun, but I always talk about the women's class, and that's because I always have so much fun.
Well, my son took your permit class.
What did he think about that?
He loved it. He thought it was great. He was he originally wanted to carry without getting a permit, and I was like, I think that's a bad idea. Go down, talk to Todd, take the class. You're going to learn some stuff that you didn't know. And when he came out of the class, he's like, I can't believe how much stuff on the internet was wrong compared to what I learned in Todd's class.
The interwebs suck.
Yeah.
They suck.
So we're going to get him his first pistol here probably next month. And then he wants to take some private classes with you. So I think him and I will be taking some more classes.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you giving him my number.
Yeah.
So what do you think prompted him all of a sudden? If you don't mind me asking.
He
said he didn't like to go. He didn't really go shoot with you that much.
No, he never shot with me a ton. We were talking about it, and he was just like, Dad, with everything that's going on, I think that it's, I need to be responsible and take my own safety in my own hands and be prepared just in case something happens.
It's awesome. And he's a good shot.
Yeah. I was really surprised.
And I hope you don't mind. You've come and you've taken my class before. You've come and you've helped me on the line before. Uh-huh. And so I just told you, hey, just come shoot. Your son's here. It's not that big of a class. Just come shoot.
Yep.
And I wasn't ignoring you guys. I was listening to you helping him, and I was like, Paul's got it.
Yeah.
I hope that was okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
I had some more people in that class. I
really
need to pay attention.
Yeah, that one was.
And I
was a little sketched out a couple times. I was like, oh, dude.
Yeah, my permit classes have been small enough now that I've been. They've been like 10 people or 8 people. So I'm able just to cut it down to 2 groups and cover it myself.
Yep.
And yeah, anyhow, even with 4 or 5 people on the line, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yep. But he really enjoyed it. He was glad he took it.
Right. Oh, keep talking for a minute. Right. My nose is starting to run. I'm allergic to Paul. It must be my beard balm that I put on. So.
It's got all those funky, what are those natural oils?
It might be my bubbly water.
It could be that too.
That's pretty foo-foo. Look at that.
I know. Pretty pink can.
It says, hey, you. I think the can just hit on me.
It's hard being sexy.
It is. I deal with it every single day. wake up this sexy Paul.
I know. I wish I could one of these days.
Did I put on my little running shorts?
Oh, God. With your spandex pants underneath them?
I do, and it's cold.
Yeah.
I will be wearing those tomorrow, I'm sure of. If I go run tomorrow, I don't know. My trail might be.
It's supposed to be raining all night. It's supposed to go through tomorrow.
Pretty muddy. I might have to stick to the gravel road.
Yeah.
I'm a gravel road runner.
Yeah. I'll ride my bicycle behind you or something. I don't know.
There you go. You can cheer me on.
There you go.
You can hold my pink water.
I'll be a cheerleader and feed you water.
There you go. Woo, run Todd and your sexy little pen. I'm going to shut up. This is the wrong show for that. Oh, so we had some interesting news. In fact, this is kind of one of the reasons why you wanted to. Oh, first of all, let's back up. What gun does your son want to get? I was going to ask you that. What is he? He's liking an odd caliber.
He really liked the 40.
He really liked the 40.
He shot my Glock 40 and he loved it. He shot that whole class with the mechanic.
Yeah.
With the optic on it, the red dot. And for at the end there, he wanted to try my 40. So he shot the 40 for a little bit. And then for your bullseye contest, that was the one that he decided he wanted to shoot. And
the 40
was the 40 for the bullseye contest.
So but he shot it well. I'm not totally against the 40. If you could shoot a 40 well, fantastic. Do it. I still think that even if you can shoot a 40 well, if you can shoot a 40 well and accurately and quickly, you can shoot a 9 even better.
Oh yeah, I would agree.
But if he likes the 40, that's great. So what model do you think he's looking for?
He's got his heart set on a Glock. I'm not a fan, but that's what he's got his heart set on. I told him, I said, we need to go out and shoot some different guns.
They make a VP 40.
I know.
They make a VP, and I know he liked the VP9 a little bit.
He really liked that one too. But he's got his heart set on the Glock. I think that he's got a buddy that's got a Glock and is talking him into, oh, you can do all this stuff to it and make it tactical. And I'm trying to talk him out of that. But if he's going to pay for it, he can do what he wants. So
okay, well I was wondering.
Yeah, he's got his heart set on a Glock.
Well, I look forward to seeing him and you back in class. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back.
Well, we'll do some snow training.
So that'd be fun.
I don't know what that means except for just stand there and be cold.
Be cold. Shoot this way. You got to practice everywhere, right?
All the time.
Yep.
Speaking of that, I got to buy some more silhouette targets. I've been trying to remember that for 3 weeks and I keep forgetting that. Okay.
You should text your wife right now to remind you.
She won't.
Oh, okay.
She won't. But we actually had a big thing happen. I think it was on Thursday. And it was actually when you texted me, said, are you talking about this on the podcast?
I did.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. You tell us a little bit. Well, hang on. Let's do this. Let me play the news clip first. Okay. And then I'll let you just go for it.
Well, I don't know that I'm that full of it, but all right.
You just talk about it and then I'll jump in. But it's about, there was a shooting on, it was Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
Right. It was down in, it
was Arizona, wasn't it?
Somewhere in Arizona down there.
Yep. New Western movie he's making. And he ended up pulling the trigger on a prop gun. Mm-hmm. And there were some bad results. So before we judge, right? We don't know. I know.
Let's play the clip. Hopefully this is the right button. Here we go.
Authorities say that actor Alec Baldwin shot and killed a woman on the set of his upcoming film Rust in New Mexico. The woman was the film's cinematographer. The director was also wounded. According to the Stage Actors Union, Baldwin's prop gun contained, quote, a single live round. Court documents state that before fatal shooting, Alec Baldwin was handed a loaded gun on the film set by a director who wasn't aware it was loaded. Fox News Digital has just obtained a 911 call from a script supervisor on the set, and the script supervisor can be heard blaming an assistant director for failing to make sure the prop gun was safe. Here's a part of that call.
So was it loaded with a real bullet or one?
I cannot tell you that.
Okay.
We have 2 entries from a movie gun shot.
Okay, we're getting them out there already. Just stay on the phone with me.
Okay. But this AD that yelled at me at lunch because asking about revisions. Did you see him lean over my table and yell at me? He's supposed to check the guns. He's responsible.
Deadline is now reporting that there had been a recent accidental discharge of the prop gun on the set. And the LA Times is reporting that crew members walked off the set just hours before the shooting.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I didn't get it set up to pause. But anyhow, I had it to set up to pause. Typically, I didn't do that. I just realized that. So what happened there was there was an accidental shooting, and then the woman that called up there to report the shooting in the background. What people forget sometimes, it can be a good thing and a bad thing, is once you dial on the 911, as soon as you call in there, they hit record.
Yep.
And they record everything.
Yep.
And you heard her in the background saying, I told that guy to check those guns. So they're already placing the blame on, I don't know, the guy who handles the guns or something like that.
Well, I think he was the assistant director.
The assistant director
gave Alec Baldwin the gun. And
he said it was loaded with a live round. A live round being not an actual round like a self-defense round. It was a live dummy round.
Yes,
is what it was. A live blank round.
Yes,
right. One that's just gonna, go bang. Right.
In theory.
In theory, but and what you didn't get to hear on that clip, because I'm an idiot and I didn't get my button set up like I should, is they actually bring on an expert, and he's an expert. He's dealt with that. He's like from the military. He's dealt with firearms. So he also is. They bring him in on movies, and he helps tell them what to do and what they should do. And he talks about the basic safety rules.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the safety rules that doesn't sound like they were followed. And he also talks about the fact that even if it was like a blank round, they can shoot powder, they can shoot all kinds of stuff. And if it was an old time gun, which I'm assuming was a period correct gun, which would have been a revolver, there could have been stuff in the cylinder. It could have been laying in the dirt, rock, anything, and it's going to propel all that stuff out. And I'm not too familiar with actual blank rounds, but there is like something, I think, in the tip of it.
There's a cap in the end of it.
And they said sometimes what happens is those things will fall out, they'll break loose, and they'll still be sitting in there. And then you fire it again, and all of a sudden you get that being propelled out as well. And then this is the way that Brandon Lee died.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Right, but go ahead.
I think the round that Alec shot was an actual bullet, though.
I'm not disagreeing, but I don't know yet.
I don't know either.
I haven't heard anything yet.
But the way they describe it went through the director, whoever it was that shot, passed through him and then hit the woman behind him.
No, passed through her and hit him.
Is that what it was?
She's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. She shot through her. So I'm assuming, and that's, the wrong word, but that it's the actual live round, because they do have they did say that they had live ammo that they were using for that production.
Right.
But they're trying to throw all this blame on the assistant director because he gave Alec Baldwin this gun. It's not a prop gun. It wasn't a prop gun. It was an actual firearm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Designed to shoot actual bullets.
Right.
There was lots of mistakes made, in my opinion. The assistant director should have cleared it before he handed it off.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin, following the basic firearm safety rules, should have checked it to make sure it was empty. Shouldn't have had his finger on the trigger.
Right.
Shouldn't have pointed it at anybody. I get that it's a movie. I get that that's what they're doing.
Right.
But if it was a prop gun, that everything's welded closed. You can't get ammo in it. One thing, but it's an actual firearm. It can be loaded. Even if you think it's unloaded and it's a movie, you need to take those safety precautions. That's just your responsibility.
You do. You pick it up. Everything, it's all a firearm. So you double check, you check. I mean, that's what you do. And we're reading the comments up here. It says if Alec was holding the gun, it's Alec's responsibility. And honestly, that's correct to a certain extent. If you hand the gun to, anytime you hand a firearm to someone, they safety check it.
Yep.
I don't care if I've just watched you safety check it. You hand it to me, I safety check it, right? And there's too much stories and news reports going on for me to get all of it. Some of the other information that is out there is that earlier, like the day before, there was another incident with a gun and a negligent discharge. And actually a good portion of the cast or whoever was there actually walked out. Right. Walked out because they said the set was unsafe. And Derek's on here. He says, you're not getting the real story. And we're not. I mean, I'm just getting, I guarantee you that. I mean, we're just getting what I'm told, what I hear on the news, guaranteed. So I'm just dealing with the information that I have right now.
Yeah.
I can put out a bunch of
assumptions.
I think assumptions. I think this happens. I think that happens. And this happened and stuff. And I could be right. I could be wrong, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play with the information that I have in front of me.
Exactly.
I did, and I was going to play it, but it's like 20 minutes long. They actually, an attorney came on, and he was talking about this. And he was talking about, I'm going to get this all screwed up. In fact, I should throw the link up there so people can watch it. It's kind of boring, but it was good information. The attorney was talking about they were in New Mexico. No,
I think it was
Arizona, wherever they were at. No, Santa Fe's New Mexico.
If it's Santa Fe, it's in New Mexico. Yeah.
And it's one of those, wherever they're at, the state that they were in, right? The state that they were in, he was talking about, you got manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter, you got manslaughter, and then you got, what else do they call it? Some kind of accident, something that happens and it takes a life, but it was just, it was a total accident, right?
Yeah.
No one was threatening, no one was doing it. And he's talked about the different stages of it. And now he may not be in trouble for being the guy that like pulled the trigger, but because he was like a director, he could be in trouble, be responsible that way instead, which I probably screwed it all up, but I'll throw that link up there. It's about a 20-minute long video. It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, I read some of that, and it's basically an accessory.
Yeah,
to the fact because they're saying he didn't do his job by making sure it was cleared. Because supposedly he said cold gun when he gave it to Alex, which from what I was reading in their business, that means there's no ammo in it. It's been checked. It's been cleared.
Check it yourself.
Exactly.
And this is all, and and I struggle with even talking about this on the podcast for a while because an ND could happen to anyone. We have to learn from him. And I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm not saying this guy's an asshole or anything like that, but he was very anti-gun.
Oh yeah.
And he spent lots of time on Twitter talking about all this stuff. And so the memes are going around, and I don't quite know how I feel about those. It's the fact that even though he's anti-gun and bad things happen, someone lost their life.
Yep. And
like or not like Alec Baldwin, it doesn't matter. He's probably lost his livelihood. You know what I'm saying? Or
I unfortunately, I think he's going to come out unscathed.
And he might, but he's got to deal with it. Or he's got to live with it. He somehow he took a life, and he's got to deal with that. So, it could happen as much as, even earlier this summer, there was another instructor in town, and they had bad things happen at their range, and someone actually had an ND and shot themselves in the hand. Yep. Right. And I talked about it from a safety aspect of it, how we should all learn from it. And I didn't go around naming names, and pointing fingers. And I didn't want to do that on this because you know what? Something could happen in my class.
Oh, absolutely.
As much as I'm there watching people and trying to help people, something could happen in my class. Something could happen with me. I don't want it to, but those are the risks you do take. And you try hard to be safe and mitigate that. And you don't want any of that stuff to happen. Okay. But it's hard to point fingers and make fun when it could very well be you the next day.
Absolutely. I think my biggest problem with the whole thing is that
he's going to walk.
Well, he's going to walk. He's going to walk.
Yeah.
He's going to walk. But more than that, everybody's pointing fingers and nobody wants to take responsibility.
Right.
You do something like that, you got to own up to it because you're never going to learn if you don't.
Right.
If you just say, well, it was his fault, it was her fault, it was their fault. And you're the one that had your finger on the trigger. You're the one that didn't clear the gun. You're right. You don't learn from that. You're just going to continue to be irresponsible.
Right.
And I think that's probably my biggest problem with it.
Yeah, no, I get it. And, as much as he's credible or not, right. And you look at him as being an anti-gun activist. We look at him as not being credible. This really screwed him up. And it's very interesting though, because I saw a news report. I didn't watch it. I just saw the headline, and they're already coming out, like the Hollywood Actors Guild is already coming out saying that they want computers to take over the job, CGI, instead of actually having firearms on the set because firearms are dangerous. So look how quickly they turned this to they're blaming the gun and not the person.
Yes.
They aren't talking about safety. They aren't talking about the safety rules. They're blaming the gun all of a sudden. And then I saw another clip where Alec Baldwin's family was quickly packing bags and leaving their home. What's going on? I don't know. Derek said it right. You're not getting the real story, or I won't say the real story. We're not getting the whole story. The whole story, and you're going to get what we get. Right.
Yep.
That's what it is. So pretty interesting stuff, really.
It is, and I'll be interested to see how it turns out. But I just struggle with the fact that there was so many safety issues.
Yeah.
That these are supposed to be trained professionals. They're supposed to have somebody on set that is supposed to be helping guide them and things like that. And it sounds like that's the guy that walked off the day before.
Right.
Because of the safety issues. And he was just kind of like, we're not doing what we're supposed to, and left. And then this happens the next day.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know.
I don't either.
It'll be interesting to kind of see how it plays out. So, let's go to this next story. So you see that video, that video that came out of that, they focused on him being a Marine, right? A Marine vet he was there buying his whatever.
He had a brown sack.
He's buying his kibble there at the store, his snacks. And, some people ran in armed, right? There's actually 3 of them.
Oh, was there 3? I only saw 2.
He mentioned 3. I'll play that in a minute, but he mentioned 3. There's one on the that hadn't made it in the door yet. He took off like quick.
Yeah.
And they walked in with a gun, and this guy he disarmed him very quickly, and disarmed him. And all you heard was Marine vet disarms, armed robber, right?
Yeah.
That's all you heard. And kudos to military, kudos to law enforcement, but you know what? Nothing that he did there looked like it was anything he was trained to do in the Marines. And we'll listen to him tell the story. They got a really quick interview, and I won't screw this clip up, I promise.
All right, get this, everyone. An attempted gas station holdup not going as planned, and that is thanks to my next guest. He is a Marine who fought off a group of armed robbers in Arizona. He joins me now. It is James Kilser. It's great to have you. So I saw this video popping up on Twitter over and over again yesterday, and I couldn't stop watching it. Tell me what happened as we show folks at home.
Well, I was standing there against the counter talking with Everett, the clerk. I'm there pretty regularly, so I knew him fairly well, and we were talking about how we needed to not be a gas station clerk anymore. We needed to come work out with me over at the proving grounds, and so then I turn around to go leave, kind of walk out, and as I'm turning around, I hear the door kind of open real aggressively, and at that point, the spidey senses kind of tingled a little bit, and I looked over and saw one person with a gun, and they started yelling, "Open the register," and kind of did a quick sweep. Saw 2 other guys without no other weapons, and decided that's the guy I'm going to hit.
And then what's in the bag? I mean, you grabbed the gun, which I think is obviously brave, and it's part of your training, I know, as a Marine. But what was in the bag?
I'm sorry?
What was in the bag that you hit him with?
2 Gatorades, 2 energy drinks, and a snack. And I didn't even know the bag was. I didn't know the bag was still attached to my body at that point. Completely unaware, as I was actually going to take control of his head and the gun at the same time, and the bag just happened to be heavy and attached to me, and it smashed him right in the face.
What did your friend Everett say?
Well, he ended up jumping over the counter and chasing to see where the other guys went around the corner when they run out. But I mean, he was a little worked up about it, but definitely an exciting start to the day. Well, for him, the end of the day, he's the night guy.
Wow. I mean, he's got to be very glad that you are one of the regular customers and that you were there at the time. Maybe just a word about your military service and the training that you have that will serve you well and the rest of us for the rest of your life.
Well, the military training, I mean, there was a quote going around about, it's a little misleading. That's kind of 2 things I said put together, but the military training, it helped a little bit with the muscle memory, but I mean, most of it was just being prepared. I take my personal safety and the safeties of others around me pretty seriously on a regular basis. So just being in the right mindset of, if this happens, I'll be there. And once they happened, I was mentally prepared, and
well, so glad that you were.
What had to be done.
We wish that you had been on that Philadelphia train. We're great to meet you. And if anybody sees James out there, buy him either an energy drink, I think it was Monster was your preferred, or a beer if you want one. Thanks so much,
I'll
James.
take a beer, please.
Beer? Get him a beer, everybody. And I'd love to buy you one as well on me in Yuma, Arizona. Thank you so much, James.
I tell you what, I really liked hearing this interview.
Yeah.
Right. Because this guy could have went, oh my gosh. I mean, the video that was passed around was military vet saves the day or disarms these robbers.
Yep.
And I mean, we even talked about it on the radio show. Right. And we had people on the radio show actually say his only a Marine would be able to. The guy didn't do. I mean, yeah, he saved the day. Kudos to him. It wasn't his Marine training that turned him into a super secret, ninja squirrel that made him save the day. And I'm glad that he didn't admit that, right? Because he could have ran with that.
Oh, he could have rode it.
He could have rode that, and we'd be still talking about it in another week.
Yep.
And the fact that he said my military training didn't really come into play, and I'm glad he said that because you could see that, right?
Yeah.
But he said, hey, look, what he did say was, hey, I pay attention to my surroundings. And I take my personal safety very serious, my safety of me and the safety of others very seriously. And that's good.
That's what it's about.
You know what that means? He's a concealed carrier,
yep.
Right? He pays attention to what's going on. And here's what I was wondering too, was there's two things. He was going to work, okay, at the proving grounds. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
And that's like a nuclear thing. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
But so he's not allowed to carry a firearm to work with him. Or he had a firearm and he chose not to use it. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. He made a call, right? He made a call. Just because you have a gun doesn't mean you need to use a gun.
Yep.
He was able to sock that guy, grab the gun, kind of twist it away, sock the guy in the face. And actually, the way he grabbed the gun, I couldn't see. You grab it, you hold it tight enough, you pull it out of battery, and the gun's typically not going to fire, right? Depending on what it is.
Yep.
So I don't know if that was going through his brain as well, but he did that, and then he pummeled the dude. And the other ones just ran off.
Well, yeah. If you grab the guy with the gun and start pummeling him, everybody else is going to get scared.
Everyone else just ran away. So kudos to him. He kind of sounds like he might have been a concealed carrier.
That would be my guess.
And he didn't unholster his firearm. He didn't draw his firearm because he didn't feel the need to.
Yeah.
Fantastic. His reflexes were great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was quick.
It's like he just like, oh, there you are. Oh, let me get that gun from you.
He didn't hesitate at all. Once he realized what was going on, he just moved.
Right. I hope he didn't damage his Red Bulls.
No kidding, right?
Or his Gatorade.
I'm sure the clerk probably gave him new ones. Say, here you go on the house.
Can you get that was a pretty heavy bag to get smacked in the head with.
2 Gatorades, 2 energy drinks.
Yeah. So. But anyhow, I like that because he didn't fall back on. I'm a vet. Look at me. I'm extra special.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's going to get me the lots of trouble there. But so I want to talk about one other thing, and I was showing you pictures, and this is something I think Gunslinger. I think Mark mentioned it earlier in the summer about there was this thing going around where people. You saw it about it last summer, right?
Oh yeah.
They were aiming guns. Like their guns, and they're taking pictures of them and posting them online.
Yep.
Of them pointing their guns directly at their junk,
their genitals.
Genitals.
Yeah. Why?
And so I never saw any of those pictures, right?
Oh, you never saw them last time around?
No, I didn't. And so I'm looking around, and I joined this Facebook. Just like, hey, you might be interested in this. And it's called, what was it called? I'm gonna state the full name because it is absolutely insane.
It was like bargain everyday
budget EDC.
There you go, budget
EDC, and then in parentheses, no rules. Okay, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to see people's EDCs, right? I'll just poke around. I don't ever comment on these. I just look. I never post. I just look.
Yeah.
And I spent the last 2 days watching people point loaded firearms at their crotch.
Yeah.
What?
But the ones that got me were like the shotguns with people's toes on the trigger.
What is this a thing?
Apparently you were looking at pictures for the last 2 days.
Oh my gosh. What are people thinking? And one guy does it, and he does it with a 1911, and he says, oh, easy there. The hammer's not down. And the other guy goes, well, I'll one up you. I don't know if these guns are loaded or not, but my gosh, you're breaking all the safety rules.
All of them.
Right. Just because it says keep your finger off the trigger, that also means keep your toe off the trigger.
Yes. What about the family one that you showed me?
Oh, and then there was a family. They all had firearms, and they're pointing them. They're like pointing them at each other to make like a circle.
Yep.
But they're pointing directly at the person across from. What the hell is wrong with people?
And there was kids in that picture.
And there was kids in that
There was kids in that picture.
What in the hell is wrong with people? But I guess it shouldn't surprise me because before I started seeing these pictures, there was a post that someone said, or that someone put out there, a statement that said, if you haven't had at least 2 negligent discharges, are you really a firearms enthusiast? What?
Yeah. And didn't you say somebody commented, I've had 8?
Yeah, there's just people commenting. Yeah, I agree with that. You just haven't handled a gun enough. You handle a gun enough, eventually you're going to have one. Really obey the safety rules. You aren't.
Yeah. Just follow some basic safety. You'll be all right.
I don't understand people.
I don't either.
Am I doing it wrong, Paul?
I don't think so. I've seen what those bullets can do to targets and other things that we've shot at, and I have no intention of having a gun pointed at me if I can help it.
If you have a firearm and you have a history of having negligent discharges, you probably need to re-examine what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we need to go over the safety rules. What are the safety rules, Paul? Do you know what they are?
We're going to point at our crotch.
Yeah. That's it. Now, keep your finger off the trigger till you're ready to fire the gun. Never point the gun at anything you're not willing to kill or destroy. Yep. Treat every firearm like it is loaded, even if you know it is unloaded. Yep. And always know what's in front, what's beyond, and what's around your target.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. And
remember that, Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, I remember that. And so it's one of those things. It's like, if you're having negligent discharge, it's because guess what?
You're not following the safety rules.
And you're pressing the damn trigger.
Yeah.
You're pressing the trigger.
I taught my kids those rules from day one. All my kids, when they were just little guys, they knew that if they saw a gun, first of all, don't touch it.
Yeah.
But when they got old enough that they were, they treated everything that was like it was loaded, whether it was or not. And they knew how to clear it and check it and be safe and make sure that they were all right. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Well, and it's ironic to me that post went up. If you haven't had any negligent discharges, the people are agreeing with them all over this Facebook site, all over that whole comment deal. I mean, there's tons of them. They're agreeing. Yeah, no, I agree. I've had 6. I've had 8. I plan on having more. I mean, you're planning on having more. These same people the next day are then pointing guns at their crotches with their fingers on the trigger. When do you plan on having that next negligent discharge?
Yeah.
What a freaking what?
I've been using firearms since I was a child in one way or another. But I've never had an ND.
Have you aimed one at your crotch?
No, I've never even pointed a gun at anybody else.
Yeah, okay.
I'm definitely not pointing it at myself.
I'm just checking. I just find it ironic the ones that are having all these NDs are the ones that feel like it's okay to put their finger on the trigger and point the gun at their nuts.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
It's ridiculous.
I need to distance myself from this Facebook page, but to be honest, I just can't look away.
It's like a wreck. It's like a train wreck.
It's like a train wreck. Every day there's something different. I'm just going, wow.
Got to slow down and look at it.
Wow. And as much as I'm back the Second Amendment, as much as I understand constitutional carry, there's some people that need some kind of class. I don't want them to be required, but there's lots of people that need a class. They need a safety class. They need a fundamentals class. They need to,
I recommend it to anybody that's getting into the firearms.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people have I sent over to you now?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. That's always my advice. Go get some training, even if it's just some basic stuff.
People, I tell you, if someone's looking for some training, a good place they can get training. Almost free training.
Where's that?
They can sign up for my Patreon.
Yeah.
They can sign up for my Patreon.
It's for, what is it? The price of a fancy coffee, right?
Fancy cup of coffee. I don't know what those cost. I've never bought one, but you can get in on it for $5 a month,
which is actually cheaper than a fancy coffee. Cause the fancy coffees I get are like $7.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I can't be buying fancy coffee. It's cheaper to go to the gun show than buy a fancy coffee.
Absolutely.
So, I tell you what, if you're interested in, I don't know, a couple free videos a month, and I'm not behind. I'm a little late on this because I did have a cold that I was fighting and this cough, and I've actually got a couple of videos done up today that I just have not uploaded them yet. They take a long time to upload onto Vimeo is where I put them. So I will get those probably tonight or tomorrow. I'll start them. Sometimes they take all night.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's just crazy slow. It's a crazy. I just don't know what I'm doing. But I'll tell you what, if you want to sign up for Patreon, become a patron, I'll leave the link down in the notes. And right now, and this applies to everyone that signed up on Patreon so far, from now until the end of the year, you'll be put into a drawing that you can actually win. A drawing to actually win a lifetime Patriot membership at Front Sight.
I looked into that. That is pretty awesome.
That's a $5,000 membership.
I looked into the classes after you taught. You had the guy on that's offering Daniel.
Yeah,
that's offering it. I looked into it, and it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, and I think people need to take advantage of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Seriously, $5 a month, man. $5 a month. You get to listen to me because I'll throw an extra, probably a whiny podcast on there, and you'll have a couple of videos on there you can check out. I think we've done I've done grip. I've done one on how to press the trigger. And then today, what I did one talking about trigger reset.
I was going to ask if you did reset.
Yeah, I did one talking about trigger reset, and I did one talking about follow through. And then the next one that I'll bring the follow through and the trigger reset together and explain how they work together and why they're so important for follow up shots and etc. So, they're good videos. They're not professionally produced by any means. There's as much as I can get done on my iPhone.
They use iPhones for everything now.
They certainly do. But I'll leave the link there if you want to sign up there. That'd be fantastic. If you like, I'm just reading the comments really quick. Caucasian Sasquatch says, since ownership is a right, gun safety classes should be in public schools. And I agree. Yeah, they should be in public schools.
They used to be.
They used to be. Yeah. But if you listen to the podcast, I really appreciate it. You can find it on Spotify, Stitcher. Where else? iTunes. You can find it there. You can subscribe. If you want to watch it, you can actually find us on YouTube Live. If you're watching YouTube Live right now, there you go. If not, and you want to see my ugly mug and see what Bathroom Paul looks like, you can definitely do that. Just look at his sexy beard, right?
That's right.
And you can,
in all my glory.
You can see the, I'm almost out of battery.
The new toy.
Here, would you touch that for me?
No, thank you.
Come on, Paul.
I'll hard pass.
Yeah. Anyhow, he kind of held more still than I thought he would. I was just gonna jump over there and get you for a second. But yeah, if you share this, that was a little off topic. If you could share the YouTube Live link or like it or subscribe to the page, that would be absolutely fantastic. I would appreciate it. Once again, like always, if you have any comments or questions, you can get a hold of me. You can call me. You can text me. Area code 620-794-6223. That's area code 620-794-6223. And just say hi. Tell me you want to be on the podcast. Got a question? I don't care. I get lonely.
Yeah.
Well, how can they get a hold of Bathroom Paul?
You can't.
Okay, it's fine. That's what the Cajun Cowboy always says too.
Yeah, no.
But if you guys want to talk to Bathroom Paul, I'll put you in touch with him.
If it's real important, get in touch with Todd and we'll get through.
We'll work something out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everyone, you guys have a great week. We are going to be swimming by the time this week's over.
Probably.
Way too much rain. And there goes my wood cutting trip I got planned for Saturday. I'm going to get buried in the mud. Maybe
we're in a drought. It might dry up by then.
It might. We'll see. Anyhow, you guys have a great week. We'll see you. I will see you next weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thank you for watching on YouTube Live. I do appreciate it. Be fast brutally. That's what that guy did. That guy did. He grabbed the gun and smacked him with his energy drinks.
Yes, he did.
He needs to be the new like the new meme for like Arizona iced tea.
Oh yeah. The twisted tea ones.
A twisted tea, but like Gatorade or something.
Yeah.
So okay, hey, thanks for commenting. I appreciate it, James. I appreciate it, Caucasian Sasquatch. I'll get a hold of you probably next week or so, Sasquatch, and we'll get some stuff figured out. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.